What's up everybody, Garrett back here, and last night I saw Scream 6, and I want to give my spoiler-free review to you guys now. Alright, so I wanted to make sure I slept on Scream 6 overnight just to kind of gather my thoughts here. I don't want to get too crazy. I'm going to be doing a spoil-filled review over on Planet CHH's channel tonight with the Rad Pack. So you'll be able to go over there and listen to the whole Rad Pack and the You Need a Podcast kind of go back and forth and really break down and unpack what we thought of this movie. Now, going into Scream 6, like most movies nowadays, I try to go into these movies with just no expectations. Not low expectations, not high expectations, just kind of like no expectations at all. Because 9 times out of 10, I kind of feel like I'm always pretty disappointed with most of the current movies that are out now, especially like these big franchise movies. I always feel like it's really hard to top or even come close to the originals. Now, if you remember, I did a Scream 5 review, and I did say I like Scream 5 quite a bit. So this kind of being a sequel to the requel, and being set in New York, you know, I kind of was excited about it. I did watch the first trailer, that was it. I stayed away from all news. I was able to avoid all spoilers. I haven't watched anybody's reviews yet. I wanted to make sure I came in here clear-headed without anybody else's opinions and just kind of let you know what I thought firsthand. And I'm really curious about what you guys thought as well. Now, I actually like Scream 6. I think that it was pretty damn good. Again, it was different, which I think in Scream, it's like you want to be the same, but you want to kind of be different. This one is going the same route a lot of these movies are, where the killer is a lot more violent. Like, this is probably the most violent Scream movie that we've had thus far. I thought the character of Ghostface had a real cool look this time around. He had more of like an older, weathered mask. I really like that. It made him a little bit different, made you think, who could this be with this old mask? Because as you know, the Scream mask is pretty readily available in these movies where the killer just has like a clean mask. They seem to be masks that people can easily get. So to have this kind of old, roughed up one, to me, really just opened the opportunity on who this killer could be. Now, the one thing I will say is I actually really enjoyed the cast here. It was the 4 survivors from Scream 5. I found that I liked them better in Scream 6 than I did in Scream 5, and I don't know if it has to do with this one having a lot more character development than Scream 5, especially the lead, Sam, played by Melissa Barrera. In Scream 5, like, to me, she was kind of the main focus, but at the same time, I feel like she didn't really do it for me as a lead. But this one, I felt like she carried this movie, and she overshadowed people like Jenna Ortega, in my opinion. And I think the rest of the cast, such as Chad, played by Mason Gooding, also really shined here and did really well. So this group of kids, these 4 kids, I feel are real good in taking this franchise to the next level. And I don't usually say that about new casts or these younger kids, but I think here they did a real good job. And I really like Sam's character because she's got a lot of layers to her being a final girl. It's just not your average final girl that we usually get. Now, you do get some returning characters here. We knew that Kirby was coming back. I'm a big fan of Kirby, and I was so glad to see that she was back here. But in my opinion, I was not really happy with the way she was presented here. I think that she should have had a better part here. I wasn't really a big fan of how they kind of shoehorned her into this story, but again, that's just my opinion. But what really sets this movie apart than the rest is not only the extra violence, but I feel like this really had so much tension that other Scream movies just didn't have. There was some scenes here that you really put me on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And they kind of dragged it out. And it was pretty suspenseful, and I feel like they did a real good job of that in this movie, which I think, again, sets it apart from other Scream movies and the formula they usually run with. We all know how Scream goes. There's specific rules. There's things that they talk about in every movie. There's always kind of twists because it becomes a real whodunit with the movie where you kind of check all the different characters out and say, hey, who could it be as the killer? And again, when it was revealed, there was some parts of it and some aspects that I liked. But in the grand scheme of things, I was not really happy with the reveal. Personally, I was kind of let down a little bit. I knew what I wanted. I think other fans did too, but I think there's also a lot of fans that didn't want what I wanted. And I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to spoil exactly what did or didn't happen. But I just feel like the reveal I really wanted wasn't what we got. But I also originally thought this was the final sequel to this franchise, but it seems like it's not going to be. So hopefully what I want to happen, what I want to be the epic ending to this, still is a possibility. Again, I feel like it's getting slimmer and slimmer, but it's still possible. But gang, overall, I thought Scream 6 was a great time. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest Scream fan. I like Scream. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the sequels. I think they're okay. I'm not a crazy Scream fanatic. But this one here, I would say this is one of the better sequels that this franchise has had. I'm even going on a limb to say it's probably my second or third favorite sequel in this franchise. Now, guys, I wanted to keep it very brief. Like I said, I will be doing a more spoiler-filled review tonight on Planet CHH's channel if you want to head over there and check it out. But I did want to let you guys know my thoughts on it in case you haven't checked it out or you did and you're just curious, hey, what did Garrett think of it? That was my thoughts. I was very happy with it, but I do think there was some problems with the movie. But again, overall, I had a good time. And I do think that this little trilogy that they're creating with 5, 6, and I guess whatever comes after this, I'm happy with it. I think that it's a good follow-up to the first 3. It's not doing the franchise wrong. I like the idea that it still has to do with the first trilogy, but it's kind of taking it in a different direction and giving it new life. So, gang, let me know down below, what did you think of Scream 6? Do you agree with me? Feel free to post spoilers down there if you want to. I've already seen it, but let me know what you thought of it. Were you a fan of it? And where does it rank for you in the franchise? So I hope you enjoyed hearing my opinion on it. Definitely give this video a like. Again, it really helps out the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do. If you like all kinds of movie talk, nostalgia, horror, this is the place to be. And this is Garrett at Born to be Rad. And like always, stay rad.